On his way to work, Yalcin Yanik stops by to check on the Syrian refugee families in the neighborhood and ask them how they're doing and if they need anything. They call him Yalcin Abi, Brother Yalcin. Yanik is Turkish, but in his hometown, Izmir, he's often himself taken for a refugee. Specifically, he's an Afro-Turk, a descendant of African slaves brought here in the mid-19th century by the Ottoman Empire. On the streets and even in his own leather workshop, he's been called black in a derogatory manner, or Arap, Turkish for Arab.
These remarks even come from my own acquaintances. Although they're meant as jokes, a year might go by without any remarks like that at all. And then I might hear them 10 times in 1 week.
But Turks of African origin, like Yalcin Yanik, are growing more confident. Once a year, they celebrate a festival in Izmir with people coming all the way from the Americas and Africa. Izmir's mayor also came to underscore his liberal image. But many passers-by are still surprised that Afro-Turks exist.
Really? These people here? I wasn't aware of them.
Very few of the Afro-Turks themselves know their roots. Forced assimilation has consigned their history and culture to oblivion. Now their descendants want to change that. Some years ago, they founded an association for the purpose.
Up to now, we haven't been able to say who we are exactly. Of course, we're Turks, we're born here. But there's more to it. Something was always missing.
In a disadvantaged suburb of Izmir, the Yanik family sits down to breakfast. Like most Afro-Turks, they're of modest means. They have little time to delve into their past. Yalcin believes his ancestors came from Tanzania, but that's about all he knows.
Even if you do want to research it, hardly any documents from that time can be found.
Yalcin's children haven't learned anything about the history of the African slaves in school either. It's not even mentioned. But they've had their experiences with day-to-day racism.
I really don't like to be in crowds. I feel uncomfortable and frightened. When I was a kid, it was worse. I would try to hide under a chair.
The annual Afro-Turk festival concludes with a big picnic. The Yaniks try to get together with other Afro-Turks more often these days. The food here is Turkish. The music, too. But recently, grass skirts and brightly colored shirts have become popular. Nobody here can afford an actual trip to Africa, so they're happy to see more and more Africans visiting Turkey.
Whenever we meet people from Nigeria or Sudan here in Turkey, we invite them over and have them tell us all about their home countries and cultures. Of course, we'd like to travel to Africa ourselves. And maybe someday this dream will come true.
But Yalcin Yanik wants to bring about change here in Turkey. In 2018, he ran for parliament as a candidate for a left-wing party. But he didn't collect enough votes to become the first Afro-Turkish representative in the Grand National Assembly.
We're already more visible in many areas of society. Now it's time for us to go into politics. Time for a black president or minister, or just a black village elder.
Yalcin Yanik thinks the time is ripe. Some 160 years after slavery was abolished, Afro-Turks are demanding their place in Turkish society.